首先敬礼传承祖师。
First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus,
了明和尚，
to the Venerable Monk
敬礼
Liao Ming,
萨迦正空上师，
homage to Master Sakya
敬
Zheng Kong,
礼16世大宝法王卡玛巴，
homage to His Holiness the 16th
大
Karmapa,
耳吉上师，
and homage to Master Dubdan
我们
Dorji.
敬礼坛城三宝，
Homage to the three jewels of the
我的
altar,
祖尊大白伞盖公，
and homage to the main deity of Homa today, Siddhartha
图登西地仁波切，
师母
各位
Dutton
上
Siddhi
师、
Rinpoche,
教授师、法师、讲师、助教、堂主及各位同门，
to all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants,
今天一位贵宾是
disciples present here and
中华
over the
民国
internet,
驻瑞典兼挪威代表廖东洲大使及夫人居
and
士。
the Taipei rep to Sweden and Norway, Ambassador Daniel Liao
前
and
台湾
Madam
省政府秘
Dharma
书
Sister
长
Judy,
郑培福先生及夫人韩日珍女士，
the former Chief Secretary of Taiwan government, Mr. Han Wuzhen, Mr. Zheng and
甘
Mrs.
丹北顶佛学院
and from
西
South
北正
India,
真德西
the Kandan Jangchara Monastery, the Keshe
郑国忠博士教授
Jimmy
团
Tenjin, and the
医护
Trudeau
团
School
全体成员，
Scholars Group and Medical Group,
巴西华光语言文化中心孔
and
子
from
课堂
Brazil,
副校长梁
the
燕
Hua
女士。
Guang Lutz Light Language and Cultural Center, and also the principal of the
周
Confucius
佩佩法
Classroom,
律顾问，周
the
佩芳
Dr.
律师
Qi，and
卢
the
文祥
Vice
律师，
Chair Ms. Liang, and the law advisors to Trudeau School,
敬礼
Mr.
企业
Yuan
公司
Xiao,
总经理张怡珍女士，
and the general manager of the Jingyi Enterprise, Ms.
木
Zhang,
雕艺术家简正新先生，
the wood sculptor, Mr. Jian,
My University Saint Classmate 朱金水先生夫人陈哲霞女士，
Mr. and Mrs. Zhu Jingshui,
华光功德会总会长及大圆满
the
九世纪
president of the Worldwide Lotus Light Charity Society,
制作
and
人
the producers
圆月上师，
of Great Perfection Dharma, Lamdre, and
主持
Sutra
人
Perfect
圆
Enlightenment,
歌
Master
上
Lian
师
Yi,
圆
and the
家
host,
上师
Master Lian
佩
Hu,
君师姐。
Master Lian Jia, and Dharma Sister Pei
My sister 卢胜梅女士 ，My sister 卢国英女士及他是们。中天电视台给你点上新增节目制作人徐雅琪师姐，
The producers for the Illuminating Your Heart from City
感
ITV
谢
Taiwan, Dharma Sister
刘美
Rebecca,
丽师姐打宅10万元，
and thank you to Dharma
香
Sister
港
Liu
王
for her
杰
donation of
山师
100,000
姐
NT dollars,
打宅10
and
万
to
元。
Dharma Sister Wang from Hong Kong, also for her donation of 100,000 NT dollars.
大家安，大家好，大家午安，大家好，
Good afternoon, how do you
你好，
do?
大家好。สนาม香， Selamat Bantan. Sawadika Kamsamida. Konnichiwa. Good afternoon. Miss beaucoup Toichi Sauji. Hola amigo, te quiero mucho. Sugoi ichiban kimochi ii. 今天的法会，那么我们欢迎这个甘丹寺北顶佛学院七美正真格西我们欢迎他们。
The ceremony today, we would like to welcome the Geshe Jime Tenzin from the Kandan Monastery from South India. I remember I visited India at the invitation of the Kandan Tripa. So the 100th Kandan Tripa, which is the third most important figure after Dalai Lama and Panchen Lama. So first I visited Dharamsala to meet the Dalai Lama. And then I went to the 8 holy places of India, of Sakyamuni Buddha. And then at Dharamsala, I met the Jigme Rinpoche, who connected with us, and we also met Om Chak Rinpoche. And then I went to South India, the seat of Kandan Tripa. And then at the Dripung Monastery, Loseling, at the Dripung Loseling Monastery, at the Great Hall there, I give Dharma teaching to about 1,000 lamas. And then I went to the temple of Kandan Tripa and also to Kandan Monastery. And the monastery of Om Chak Rinpoche, the Kandan Suposi. That was in India, and from India we went to Nepal. And in Nepal, at the Karma Leche temple, I was seated to be a true Rinpoche. And talking about the lineage, first is the Venerable Monk Liao Ming, and he was a disciple and also the Dharma friend of Master Nona. And Master Nona transmitted the Mahaprajnaparamita, the Diamond Sutra and the Heart Mudra to Master Nona, and also give many empowerments of the Nyingmapa. And the Venerable Mang Liao Ming also followed. The living Buddha of the Kagyupa. There was a spiritual center called the Gongka in Taipei. So the Venerable Mang Liao Ming had the lineage from Master Nona and also from Omkar Rinpoche. And that was the first guru that I took refuge in. And the second one was Master Sakya Zhengkong, the Xiong Rinpoche. And he came from the Sakya temple in Seattle. So his niece was married to the Dakchen Rinpoche. So the Sakya temple that was the Xiong Rinpoche. So at Green Lake in Ballard, in Seattle, I took refuge in the Xiong Rinpoche. So this was the lineage of the Sakyapa, and earlier that was Nyingmapa. And the third in upstate New York in America, I took refuge in His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. In 1980, I took refuge in the 16th Karmapa. That's the lineage for the Kagyupa, Karma Kagyu. And fourth is in Hong Kong at the Jingyin Buddha attic. I took refuge in Master Dukden Dorji. There were two great living Buddhas in Mongolia. One is Changjia living Buddha, and the other one is the Ganju living Buddha, or living Buddha Ganju. When he transmitted Buddha Dharma, during the Qing dynasty, so Ganju Rinpoche transmitted to Master Dukden Nima, who transmitted to Master Dukden Dali, who transmitted to Dukden Darji, and Master Dukden Darji transmitted to me. That's the lineage in the Gelugpa. From Dukden Dorji to me. And I was named Dukden Jimo in the Gelugpa school. So I have all lineages from the four schools, from the Gelugpa, Sakyapa, Nyingmapa, and Kagyupa. So I have all four lineages. As we all know, for the Kagyupa, it came from Marpa, Milarepa, Gampopa, and then the first Karmapa. Kamapasi, and then the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all the way to the 16th Kamapa. That's my lineage in the white sect or Kakyu Kamapa. And the lineage in the Nyingmapa at the place called Xikang. That Rinpoche was in Xikang. There was a spiritual center in Taiwan called the Nona, the spiritual center that belonged to Master Nona. So Dezhong Rinpoche was from the Sakyapa in Seattle. And I heard that Dezhong Rinpoche had been reincarnated, and also Gamsu Rinpoche, also Zhangjia Rinpoche, all living Buddha, and a few other Rinpoches. And True Buddha School has a realized master, Master Liu Wenqing, who informed me that he's been reincarnated in Hualien, Taiwan. About January this year, he told me that he's reincarnated in Hualien. So we can seek him out, and he would be reincarnated Rinpoche, Master Liu Wenqing. And we also have a Fa Si, a Venerable Lianhua Yiming. When he passed away, he had a full body sariras that can fill the whole cloth bag. So the sariras can fill several cloth bags. So he was from Montreal, Canada, the Venerable Lianhua Yiming. Although he's had attainment, I have not been informed that he's reincarnated, but instead I got the news from Master Liu Wenqing. So once we found the date of the birth, then we would go to Hualien, to the census there, and to find them one by one. You have to go to the registry first. So we will find out about the date and time of the birth. And as for Dutan Siddhi, he has to attend the training for a monk. And I have asked Master Lian Hai to teach you on the sutras. How many years has he taught you? 5 years. The basics for the Mahayana Dharma. and he has to attend our Buddhist school. You have to go study, and also the trainings for the monks. Like this time we have the conference for the Dharma teachers and for the Dharma masters, and you have to report your insight from your studies. So as your guru, if you don't follow or you're not obedient, you can be reprimanded. Like the Dalai Lama, in his studies, throughout of his studies, he had a stick hang there, and some of his gurus were very strict and disciplined, and had started the instructions from he was very young. Before beating him, they pay homage and then beat him. So whether you're reincarnated or not, you have to study hard. Please sit down. So we ask an Acharya who is well versed in Tantrayana to teach you. Don't think that being a Rinpoche that you can take it easy. As a Rinpoche, you still have to study and get a Geshe. Geshe is like a diploma. There are 4 levels of Geshe. And also Tenzin Kacho in America, he has to go through training. The same with you. You have to follow the rules, otherwise you can be fired by the True Buddha Foundation. Once that's done, there's nothing left. You have to be like a Rinpoche and behave like a Geshe, and you need to understand all the sadhanas, all the practice procedures. Then you would be a true Rinpoche, a true Geshe. That's an absolute requirement. In my Buddhist studies, I've followed Mahayana too. I took refuge in 3 gurus, Master Inshun, Master Tao An, and Master Le Guo. And Master Le Guo came to Taiwan from Hong Kong, and Master Tao An was the chief of the Chinese Buddhist Association of Taiwan. In China, there were 2 schools. One is the Yen Yin school from Zihang, Venerable Zihang, and Master Yin Xun is from the Tai Chi school. He belongs to the school of the 3 treatises of Nagarjuna and Lungsu and Tipo Aryadeva. And Grandmaster belongs to the Prasangika Madhyamaka. And now most of that belongs to Gelugpa in Tibet. Tibetan Tantrayana is Prasangika Madhyamaka. That was spoken by Buddha Palita and 什么？前面的是谁？不是他的主事。 是就说的 Yeah, anyway.
好，我们今天要灌顶大白伞盖。
And today we will have the empowerment for Siddhartha and it would include the boomerang shield mantra. And the boomerang shield Buddha Mother has this mantra. The origin of Siddhartha was because the Indra, heavenly god, was at war with the Asura's heaven. And Asura heaven, heavenly king, attacked the Indra, heavenly king. So Indra went to Sakyamuni Buddha for help. And Sakyamuni Buddha emitted the bright white light from his top nose. So from the bright light above his crown and manifested the Buddha Mother with white parasol, Siddhartha. And the white bright light of Siddhartha covered the whole Indra heaven. So when Asura king brought with him all of Asuras to attack Indra, failed to attack because the Indra heaven was protected by Siddhartha. And it has the power of the boomerang, which meant that the power of the attack would be returned back to the attacker. The attack would be returned, the same power. So there was the single form. The left hand is holding the parasol, and the right hand is forming the wish bestowing mudra. The left hand is holding the parasol, and the right hand is the wish bestowing mudra. That's a single form, and there's also the form with 3 faces. And like Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, there's a Siddhartha with 1,000 eyes and 1,000 arms. There are many forms, and you know the mudra. The right hand like this, and the left hand. The index finger of the left hand is touching the palm of the right hand. By forming the mudra, it symbolizes the purity of the body. And we recite her short mantra, her heart mantra. That's the Siddhartha boomerang shield mantra. And you visualize Siddhartha protecting you. The armor mantra. So you visualize Siddhartha and you use her light to protect you, to cover you. And you form her mudra, and you visualize her, and you recite her armor mantra. Then she will protect you. That's how you practice the Siddhartha deity yoga. And the long mantra. That's her long mantra and the short mantra. So with mantra, visualization, and mudra, it will become the Siddhartha deity yoga practice procedure. And Siddhartha wears a celestial garment in layers. And she sits in the lotus position on a lotus moon. And there's the boomerang shield mantra. So the mantra read backward. So when the mantra is recited the right way, then that would be her heart mantra. But when it's recited backward, then that would be the boomerang shield mantra. And other deities that have boomerang shield mantras are the Hayagriva, not every deity would have the boomerang shield mantra. Usina Vijaya, Avalokiteswara Bodhisattva, Siddhartha, Hayagriva have the boomerang shield mantra. So Siddhartha, thousand eyes, thousand arms, Avalokiteswara Bodhisattva, Usina Vijaya, Hayagriva, 5 deities have boomerang shield mantra, and not the others. So in a while I will give you the empowerment. And Siddhartha not only protecting us, it will protect our home, or all of true Buddha disciples, or the whole family, or a city, or country. She has many functions. You need to practice it. Siddhartha appeared and told me it's very easy to gain yogic union with her. The deities that are easy to gain yogic union, to attain yogic union with, is Mahabala, or are Mahabala. That's Mahabala, or Mahabala Hom Hompe, the Dharma protector of True Buddha school. And then Mariji, very easy to gain yogic union with her. Maniji Soha, and also Siddhartha Hom Mama Hom Ni Soha. I had transmitted Siddhartha before too. This deity is easy to attain yogic union with. So in your practices, you have these 3 deities as your protectors. Today I will continue on Lamdre. Lamdre belongs to Hevajra and the Sakyapa. And other schools also study Lamdre. This was spoken by Virupa, most importantly, Virupa. And the lineage for Lamdre, I have said before, do you still remember? Drogma Latsawa. You don't remember anymore? The lineage gurus of Lamdre is the Drogmi Lotsawa. He is a great figure in Tibet, and Marpa was his disciple too. The three Sur of Nyingmapa were also the disciples of Drogmi Lotsawa. And the patriarch of Gelugpa, you know who? Tsongkhapa. And who was the guru of Tsongkhapa? You cannot say Atisha, because although Tsongkhapa founded the new Kadampa, which became Gelugpa, because there were a long period of time between them, the most important basic guru from Tsongkhapa was Champa. From Sakyapa, who? Any of the masters? Nobody knows. As a Vajra Acharya, you don't know the guru of Tsongkhapa. No. No, that's not the one. So I have to force it out. Jetjunren power. He's from the Sakyapa. Now we can have dinner. This is a very simple thing and you don't know. Lamdre belongs to Sakyapa. I have taught about the wavy path for the Vajra body and the wavy path for the speech. Now I will talk about the wavy path for the meditative mind. The practice is for those endowed with the lotus mudra or the wisdom mudra. It is divided into 3 parts: the continuum of pure methods, the continuum of pure wisdom, and the continuum of all sorts of pure methods and wisdom. For those endowed with the lotus mudra, one practices on their own first and then exchange methods and wisdom. For those with the lotus wisdom mudra, practice whenever convenient. So I would like to ask all the Dharma masters, what does this mean? What does this mean?
这是什么意思 ？What do you mean? 什么意思 ？What do you mean?
What does it mean?
这一段你们看了没有？
Have you read it?
此一聚连十印或知印而练其道，其分路有三。
The practice is for those endowed with the lotus mudra or the wisdom mudra. It is divided into 3 parts: the continuum of pure methods, the continuum of pure wisdom, the continuum of all sorts of pure methods and wisdom. For those endowed with the lotus mudra, one practices on their own first, and then exchange the methods and the wisdom. For those with the lotus wisdom mudra, practice whatever convenient. So, who can explain this part? Please stand up. Any of the acharyas? Just this small piece of excerpt.
这是一波金刚波浪道。
So the
难道还要你的师父讲吗
wavy path for the meditative Vajra mind. So you need your guru to explain it. So if you are sure that you can explain it, please raise your hand.
啊？这个博士，你站起来，那个李博士。这是无上密的，没有错。无上密部，无上密。
This belongs to the highest Yoga Tantra.
你只知道无上密了。
Master Lian Yi. So that's all you know?
请坐。还有没有？
Please sit down.
有两个。一个是智慧，一个是方便。
There are 2, wisdom and methods. And the union of the 2,
一个是方便，一个是智慧。
one is methods, one is wisdom.
今天跟大家解释了。
So let me explain it then. Please take a note.
用方便的方法。
You use the convenient methods to
用智
purify,
慧的方法。
and you use the methods, the wisdom way to purify,
一起的方法去亲近。
and you use the methods and wisdom together to purify. What does it mean? Endowed with the lotus mudra. The methods represent the male practitioner. Wisdom represents the female practitioner. If those have the mudras with the lotus, so the union of methods and wisdom. Those with the lotus wisdom mudra. So the female is endowed with the marks of a dakini. That would be called those endowed with the lotus mudra. And the methods represent the male practitioner. Wisdom represents the female practitioners. So those endowed with the lotus mudra means that they are female practitioners that have signs of a dakini or Buddha Mata. And we call them karma mudra. And the wisdom mudra, sometimes you use the wisdom deity in the sky. And the physical mudra. So the wisdom mudra is the one in the sky. And the physical mudra is a female practitioner with signs of a Dakini. So how do you visualize what is pure? First, you purify your environment, your surrounding. First, my gurus taught me, you visualize it transformed to become a huge white lotus blossom. And the male practitioner, with his female wisdom mudra, are inside the lotus blossom. And the blossom was at first open and gradually it encloses. So that's the visualization for purifying the surrounding. This belongs to the highest Yoga Tantra. And for the female practitioner, she should visualize the purity of herself, which is visualizing her own yidam. And the male practitioner visualizes his own yidam. So this is the second kinds of visualization, which is the separately between the practitioners. So the female visualizes she's in union with her yidam, and the male practitioner also in union with his yidam. That's the second kind of visualization for purifying. And third visualization, at her secret chakra, she visualizes it to become a lotus, and he visualizes his to be a Vajra scepter. When the methods and wisdom are in union, that's when you place the Vajra scepter on top of the lotus. This belongs to the highest Yoga Tantra, as taught by my Guru. So the secret part of the male becomes Vajra scepter, the female becomes lotus, and you place the Vajra scepter on the lotus. And these three kinds of visualizations are done during the wavy path for the meditative Vajra mind. So now you understand my explanation? This was taught by my Guru. So think about it yourself. First is the visualization for the surrounding. You visualize your whole bed to become an open, white, huge lotus blossom. And then the lotus blossom gradually encloses, and the male practitioner visualizes himself to be his yidam, and the female, which is the Dakini, visualizes to be her yidam. And the male visualizes his secret chakra to become Vajra scepter, and the female to become lotus. So there's three kinds of visualizations. Belong to the wavy path for the meditative Vajra mantra. So the practices for those endowed with the Lotus Mudra and the Wisdom Mudra divided into three: the continuum of pure methods, the continuum of pure wisdom, the continuum of all sorts of pure methods and wisdom. For those endowed with the Lotus Mudra, one practices on their own first and then exchange and then together. So I have explained its meaning just now. Do you understand? So don't undermine Lamdre. There are many secret codes or secret language. Many phrases. And I was taught by my gurus, and now I transmitted it to you. If you understand it, you understand it. If you don't, you don't. But if you don't have the power of emptiness, empty nature, or non-leaking, then by no means, please do not practice. Otherwise, you would be stealing and deceiving. Xiaoming said, even if I have 10 beauties in front of me, as soon as you appear, then your radiance would cover them. And then the girl said, how come I'm that radiant? No, because you're so fat. You cover the brightness of the other beauties. So what I meant is the light of Siddhartha was bright and far-reaching. So if you practice and be in union with Siddhartha, then naturally you would be able to generate or emit light too. My work today has got into trouble, and I was reprimanded by my boss. And because I was quiet, it made him mad even more. Why didn't you say anything? You couldn't accept it? And then I replied, no, that's not the case, because my wife prohibited me to talk to a beautiful lady. So the boss finally, the female boss, said, well, okay, just a warning. So this is the way of communication. You need to know how to communicate well. So if you practice Siddhartha and you silently recite her mantra, and then you snap your fingers, you flick your fingers, Hom Mama Hom Nisaha, you visualize Siddhartha covering you, and with the flick of the finger, all of a sudden that female boss would forget everything and just get you off, let you go. The patient came to see the doctor and said, I have a gradual memory loss. And the doctor asked, what symptoms do you have? And the patient replied, because every time I see a beautiful lady, I forget that I'm a married man. And the doctor said, are you joking? I haven't cured my own sickness. So this is a common problem for all men. But let me tell you here, as a Buddhist practitioner, you need to be able to control your own thoughts. You know, I have asked Master Hui Jun, does your brain belong to you? Doesn't your brain belong to you? No. You can't say that because your brain is on your head, inside your head or on your body. But if you say your brain belongs to you. It works because, however, saying that your brain doesn't belong to you works because when you do something, you have so many distractive thoughts. As a Buddhist, in our practices, the most important thing is focus, concentration. You need to be in union with your thoughts. Then your brain belongs to you. But if your thoughts are not in union with yourself, like when you do something but you think of other things, then of course your brain doesn't belong to you. How could it belong to you? So today, I'd like to tell you, if you practice until you can be in union with your thoughts, with your brain, then you have attainments. That's an attainment. So what is Chan or Zen? Is the concentration, single-mindedness. So once you have a thought appearing, then you have abandoned Zen. You're not you. But if you can completely control your thoughts, then that would be called Zen or Chan in Chinese. An emperor dreamt that there's an empty bucket, and he told his queen that the people are hungry, and but he asked the minister, when the water is dry, then the true dragon will appear. And so different explanations makes him happy. So he's not depressed anymore. So when you go to two extremes, but if you are away from two extremes and walk the middle path, then there will be the middle path. So what is an attainment? It's between 1 and 0. That's attainment. This could only be understood by Chinese, so I will not translate it. 领导啊，戴着眼镜看了半天，问我养的是什么？我说是虾，虾。领导一气就走，我赶紧大声的解释，是虾，领导是虾，领导真是虾，是真虾，其实是虾子。而不是眼睛下。Yeah, it's a homophone of Chinese. So we don't want to be blind. So that you are able to see Siddhartha appearing right in front of you. Then you have the lucid vision. Are you able to see the Buddha appearing in whole body? If you are able, then you have lucid vision. So if you can see a deity appearing right in front of you, then you have that lucid vision. So you have to be able to see that. A kid asked his mom, "Why did you marry Dad?" Then, and mom replied, "Because I was blind. That's why I married your dad." And the kid asked the dad, "How come you're so poor now?" Because my money cured your mom's blindness. So it's relative to each other. These jokes are not so funny. The security guard said, an executioner said that, "Don't worry, now you electrocuted using the chair." And then all of a sudden there's a shrill cry from inside. And what happened? Oh, because the power is out, so they were executed using fire. In our Buddhist studies, some go fast, some are slower, some are really fast. That's because their spiritual roots are different. Like Lamdre that I just taught. So theoretically, I should not teach it to those who have not received the highest Yoga Tantra empowerment. But I give the teaching today because I want to make you know. I want to let you know. So if you're receiving empowerments, is the first empowerment, which is the vase empowerment. Second empowerment, which is the white and red Bodhi, and the third empowerment for the highest Yoga Tantra, and you need to bring your partner to receive it. So please don't be cheated or tricked by anyone. So to receive the third level empowerment, both the male and the female practitioners have to come together. And I have to explain in greater details. It's not a simple matter. If there's ever a male practitioner that tells you that, hey, let's practice this highest Yoga Tantra, then you know it's not for everybody. First, the qualification is, have you comprehended the empty nature? Have you attained the non-leaking through your practice? Do you understand the attainments of the second level empowerments, the inner tantric practices of the chi channels and light drops? Like the 6 yogas of Naropa, the 6 yogas of Niguma. One is the Poa practice, to open your apex. Do you have attainment of that? Second, do you have attainment of your inner fire, Tumo practice? Third, So have you seen the pure lights? Do you have attainment in that? Do you have attainment in your dream that you know inside your dream that you're dreaming and you can transform it? And you not only knowing that it's a dream, you can transform it. So do you have all these attainments? Power, inner fire, pure light, and then lumina or the illusory body practice, and then the dream yoga, and the consciousness transference practice. Can you do that? Can you transfer consciousness during the bardo state? Grandmaster every night practices this transference of consciousness every night before sleep. I also practice the dream yoga. So you need to comprehend all this. The 6 yogas of Naropa, 6 yogas of Niguma. They are the same. If you don't have any attainments in the dual execution, Dalai Lama asked me once that how do you explain the emptiness and form? So I said dual execution and the middle way, not attaching to the emptiness or to the form. As in the Heart Sutra, form is no other than emptiness, emptiness is no other than form. So the combination of the two, the dual execution of the two, so you cannot be sided toward the development stage or the perfection stage. So it should be for the both of them. And the same thing between existence and emptiness, they combine. And then the Monday ground and the enlightened ground are also combined. So that's the concept of the middle way. You're not going to any of the sites. Dalai Lama, hearing my reply, so according to the Heart Sutra, form is emptiness, emptiness is form, form is no other than emptiness, emptiness is no other than form. Then I said it's dual execution, and Dalai Lama said it's just natural. So whether it's the existence come or the emptiness come, so may they come. We just accept what may come. So we don't go to either sides and we walk in the middle path. That's all for today. Mani Padme Hum.